or disclosure time or disclosure weekend, we are heading into the realization that we are it. We, not some alien, not some interdimensional people. We don't need to start worshiping all these different people, thinking that they're all enlightened. All these galactic associations and all these people calling them hybrids and all the stuff. That's easy to get kind of lost as we are kind of diving through the dark feminine, which is kind of like opening up all of the past. We were kind of stuck in the feminine before, the dark feminine of kind of like being just stuck in kind of a cult. Like the world was kind of like a cult before. Everybody was just led by people that was kind of taking your energy. That's what most people kind of actually do. Most teachers, these interdimensional people, they're always like, thank you for your energy. They're actually like, they're the old energy, that old dynamic of the old was that of taking the energy of your followers. And hence kind of, so there was like more of a vampiric kind of demonic kind of energy to a darker energy. So it's a heavier way of connecting, and the place where we've been, humanity. But now we're kind of ready to move beyond that kind of dark energy, the old energy. Well, that's why it's all coming up again. All these old Egypt, Atlantis, all these things, all the gods and goddesses are coming up again, because we need to kind of see it now that we are kind of like, we're stepping into the new, we're stepping into new. So it's like kind of when you're healing, like your old past has to come up again. The memories of your old self, your childhood self, the memories of your parents, because they were kind of part of your ego. So in the same way as we are healing and stepping into the new, all this old stuff is coming up. And since we kind of have been just the feminine, it's easy to think that we don't need a leader, we don't need a teacher. Well, then it's very easy to get lost because then we constantly are just like judging and chasing after and getting confused with all kinds of teachings out there, or all kinds of all kinds of ideologies that are out there, which just makes this time pretty exciting, but also confusing. But as we have kind of been now in the dark feminine for a while, kind of that's also needed to get stuff to come up to the ground. All the stuff that we've kind of, all the old stories, all the old histories of mankind has come up, so that we can start kind of rising up, so that we can start. And that's kind of like literally happening now. We're starting to allow the divine masculine to come in again. And it's almost like confusing for people. You see it now. The World Cup, the cup has come back to America. The cup, the World Cup, the chalice has returned to America. And people are like astounded that, you know, the dark feminine, then everybody's talking gossip, everybody's criticizing. You know, that is where we kind of like, we had one age of enlightenment in the West. That was kind of the thinking man. So then everybody became the thinking man. So that was one level. But then the thinking man can become overrun by the complaining man or woman, which the complaining is kind of that emotional, using emotions, using kind of being dissatisfied, being offended as a tool. It's a war, it's a game, it's an energy. And that's the feminine that we've had to now. Everybody has been complaining, and everybody's feeling like they live in the worst country in the world. They live in the worst place. Europe, everywhere, it's the worst place, because we're just stuck in complaining. And the more you complain, the more the energy goes down. And you see all these like soccer team before that was more complaining, and they suddenly just did worse in the Olympics, or like the World Cups before, like 4 years ago and stuff. But now you see there's like a new, like, being Norwegian and all, you see there's like a new spark. The wild man, the divine man is coming back in, the divine masculine, which is kind of, yeah, it's kind of earthy, it's kind of wild, and it's kind of like a Neanderthal kind of feeling too. That's why we have kind of been like, no, we're a thinking man, we're like better than that kind of. But to truly kind of stand aligned with the divine feminine, which is growing up now, then the divine man had to kind of even go further. He had to kind of really take over and take out the Viking again. The Norwegian had the Viking for like 1,000 years ago or more. But then when we went into just the thinking man, we just want to think ourselves to it, but we kind of separated ourselves a little bit from the body, from the power, from the Viking. That was just kind of deemed not wholly appropriate, not so much for us. So we kind of had that dissociation with parts of ourselves, but now suddenly it's coming up again. You see all the people just allowing that Viking to come up the row, and everybody's like, so there's that divine masculine spark, because that is needed for the divine feminine, which is family, which is kind of daring to honor and daring to be a leader and daring to be a mom and dare to be a dad and daring to be a kid and dare to be a peasant. Like, it means the family is the feminine. It means that we're not all equal. Somebody's leading, somebody's following, somebody's a child, somebody's a grown up, somebody's the teacher, somebody is the the student. We get caught up in a feminine where everybody's equal and everybody's just going to be the same. So we're not being honest when who's actually the leader and who's going to be a good leader and who's not going to be a good leader. So then we get like stuck in countries that just are lost in having bad leaders and bad followers and bad ideas, because we got stuck in the complaining. We want to just make everybody that complains happy. Well, that just gets stuck in niceness, the kindness. Disclosure is now that we are no longer need to be stuck in niceness. The feminine and the dark, the feminine and the light needs the feminine and the masculine and the light. Those two, then there's a leader, there's a follower, there's the family. That union is coming out now in a way that has never been seen before. The pride of humanity is coming out more. And then a lot of people get confused. No, they get confused in conspiracies, because that's very American, So America has kind of been the leader of spirituality, but at the same time, they're a little bit stuck in the complaining man, be like, oh, I'm not going to follow you. I'm going to think differently. I'm going to hide in the basement. I'm going to believe that everything is a conspiracy and all. So we can easily get stuck in that. We have to rise up to the divine masculine, which is daring to be proud of ourselves, of our life. We get to lift our energy up. That's literally what you can do. You can lift your energy up. It's the easiest thing, but you have to choose it. You have to dare to realize it's possible. I'm here to tell you that it's possible. I'm here to show it. And if you're interested, follow me, follow my Patreon, ask questions. Good to see you here, and see you next time.